First of all, thanks everyone for joining today. So hope everyone enjoyed the previous sessions and a few more interesting sessions are being there. So today I'm just going to explain few things related to message extension because from the morning, like a lot of people already covered the main things like adaptive cards or how the team apps can be developed. So I will take one part and explain it a little bit deeper. So myself, Pandian, working as a senior software engineer at Koi.co. So the session is going to about first I was thought to explain about App Studio features because it's already we have seen lots of features already in the previous sessions. So let's get jump into the messaging extension straightly. So before this, we had developed a messaging extension in Microsoft Teams for our one of our product. I will show that first so that it will be easy for me to explain as well as for you to like catch up this thing. So before that, I'll just play a video. So Jakemer, you just confirm whether you could be able to get the audio properly. Is that fine?
No, we don't hear any audio. Can you play that? It's at pass, I guess.
No, it's past. Maybe that is just music only. I can just play the video itself. So you could be able to see the screen, right?
Yeah, we are able to see the screen, but the audio is not visible. Probably.
Okay, that's fine. I will just play it video because video itself will explain it the features we had built. So that I will explain the features how we built in Microsoft Teams. So let me play it. So that's it for the video. So let me show the app first. Like what a document 360 will actually do is like we'll be having a documentation site. So there will be a lot of articles and documents will be there. So for at some point, like for example, someone has bought this product and they are using in the thing. Like they want to search for something within the Teams itself because like they will be having some support related tickets or like doing an interaction between their teams within the company. So if they want to like communicate with the document 360 and they can use the Teams app we have built and they can query and search for the articles within this things basically. So we had created the Teams app on top of like a search-based message extension in the thing. So let me show it. Like this can be accessible in three places based on the means. Like this can be accessed in the search bar. Like they can search us at document 360, and it will show the options available. Like search the article and add API key and remove API key. Basically, we added some authentication there. So if they already authenticated, they can search for something and they can search for some word keywords like a document. And the what actually will happen in the backend is like it will web service will be calling to the thing like our knowledge base and provide the results based on the search keywords, and that will be listed here. Like they will be listed based on the search keyword, and they can able to select the particular article, and it will provide informations like the article title and like the like a starting text or like a overview text kind of thing. They can open the article like this. It's like a action based, like it will open the article in the new tab, or like they can copy the the result basically. you can wonder like why they need to copy, because sometimes we are not sure like whether we need to reply in this reply window or like they can reply in the chat thing, whether it should be in a channel or chat. So basically they can copy and paste it anywhere inside the Teams. So once they paste it, it will add it like this. And also like they can reply in any thread, as well as like they can create a new conversation using the document 360 message extension. For example, let me search for text called admin. So it will search for something and provide information like this, like here it is, take a look, something like that. So basically this particular result set is called adaptive cards. So we have created very simpler way so that it won't have any much information. It will have related information like a hyperlink or like a open article action. So once they click it, it will open in the different tab. So in today's session, I'm just going to show what is this message extension, how we can build it with the help of Microsoft Teams documentation, as well as like what is the procedure we need to follow when we need to deploy the services, and how we can submit for a review. So let's get started. For that, I'm going to show the official documentations here. So here they are clearly mentioned like how we can build a message extension. So basically what message extension will do is like it will help you to open your app within the Teams in 3 places basically. First one is in the search bar. Second one is in the reply thread, whether it can be a channel or chat, or like in the new conversation. Another one is called more actions. In the more actions, you will have some options something like this. So you can click this thing and more action, your app will show up here based on your configuration and the codings we do. So let's come back to the documentation here. So what we need to do is actually we need to create our sample project basically. So the Microsoft itself, like they take lots of time. It seems like create like to provide very detailed information on each and every topic, like action-based commands and search-based commands, and they provided a well groomed and like a very proper samples in their bot builder samples here that GitHub repository. So I just downloaded this thing for the demo purpose to show in the today demo. So this is going to be a Teams messaging extension search-based thing. So whatever we search for something, it will search in the real-time web service and provide us results from the thing. So for this, you need to clone the repository and traverse to this particular project number 50. So I just opened in the Visual Studio here. So basically, I'll explain the structure here. First of all, the main thing is like let's go from here. So this is the project we are going to see here. It has been created using .NET Core 3.1. So main thing is like manifest.json. This manifest.json will have lots of information like what is the schema it has been using, and it should provide the information like package name and developer details. So here it is a sample project, so it is mentioned as Microsoft Corporation, something like that, and the name of the application, short name and a full description. And the description will be present in the marketplace thing. So when someone is searching for our app name, this information will be like additional information below our app name. And the app what's the outline and color of the icons. So this outline basically will present in this place. So this is one of the color we have. And another place will be like if you're searching in the marketplace, let's say example document 360. So this icon will be that we need to provide two set of icons. One is like in the marketplace icon. Another one is like within the app how it should look like. So there is a lot of guidelines in their documentation so that we can follow it and create based on it. Basically, it will be like outline kind of a thing. We need to provide the outline of icon. Next thing is like the accent color, how the branding can be happen. Basically, lots of products will have their branding colors, which needs to be persisted in all their products in the extension or like the apps they are created. And the main important point here is like whenever you download some apps here from the marketplace, what it will do is like let's say example document 360 app, they'll be having a manifest file only. So manifest and these two icons will be there in their pointer. So whatever we do search, it will send to the web app bot. That bot will do a search and provide the results basically for us in this search-based extension case. So this bot ID will be listed here. So we need to list the bot ID, which is basically we created in the Azure platform, and we need to provide that information here. And this will be like configuring our searches, how the text should look like. For example, here I had configured some bot, like the messaging app. These kind of configurations that can be available there. If you want to like create another configuration, like getting some information from the user context, or like we need to capture some user information, we can also configure in this place. So what we can do is like this is a sample project. So I'll go through the Teams messaging extension search bot. Basically, it will extend like Teams activity handlers object, like this thing. So it will do 3 to 4 steps. So I will explain it one by one. For example, it is an app basically. So when we click it, it should do a search here. For example, I'm searching for something. Let's say Microsoft. So when we do a search, what it will do is it will attach our user action into this code. Basically, let's consider it in that way. So it will do a query here. This query will particularly do call this method. So this packages will be called and it will provide a result, and the results will be displayed in a list way. And for that, it will be used adaptive code list, and it will show in this way. So we will provide all the lists in a array and provide it as a list. And once it is selected, it will append to the chat like this. It's again an adaptive code with few actions. It can be a hyperlink, or it can be action based. For example, if you want to like open another adaptive code, or like provide another options in the chat, we can configure based on our needs. So if this send it, it will just append in the chat. For that, what we are going to do now is like let's create a fresh web app bot here. I'll explain how we can deploy it and how we can use that app ID in our project. Like in the sample project we have got from the GitHub. For that, you need to go to your Azure portal and select your resource group. Inside that, I'm going to create a new source with the type of web app bot. So I'm going to create it. So let's name it as like a M365 demo. Okay, the name is available. Basically, it will generate a sample code in there like a echo bot. Whatever we type, it will repeat it. That kind of bot it will have. After that, we can deploy our code, which is available in our Visual Studio. So I'm going to deploy it, and this is the important part here: Microsoft App ID and password. Basically, this App ID will be used in our source code. So that App ID will be our bot ID in the manifest file. So let's say like here we have mentioned bot ID. So this bot ID will be that app ID. So it will get created. We can wait for a few minutes. In the meantime, I'll just go through the parts here. Basically, this particular code, what it will be doing is like it will have this only one method to find out the packages from the internet. Like it is searching the NuGet website and search for the DLLs or like packages that has been hosted. So it will provide a few informations in the object, and we are framing that object into version number, description, and the project URL, basically some website URL, and the icon picking from the real-time thing. After that, it has been created as a code here. Like here, they have used a thumbnail code. So you can use it based on your needs. It can be a thumbnail code or adaptive code. So it is getting created. So let it create. In the meantime, I will show the options available in the apps. App Studio basically. So when I created this document 360 app, I just used the App Studios to validate my manifest files. For example, you can create a manifest file straight away instead of like downloading something from internet or like referring this. You can try your things in the UI itself. Like you can create a new app based on your needs. And you can mention names like M365. It can be have some full name called M365 demo. And this app ID will be created from the Azure portal, and you can provide the descriptions, what you should have, and developer informations. This is like a UI kind of thing. Like instead of providing the JSON, you can type something at the end of this work. You can download the fresh manifest file and the app URLs, like a privacy statement and terms of use. When you're doing the development, it won't be needed. But when you really want to like deploy in your marketplace and get a reviewed by the Microsoft team, these are the mandatory things. And we right now it is having some example like our sample I can share. When you're going for marketplace, we need to provide proper informations. And next thing is like tabs, bots, and the capabilities. So we are creating a messaging extension. We can go for it and set up it. So it can use the bot name or like use the existing bot from there. So we can provide the app again, that app ID we are creating in the here, and we can preview the manifest here like this. So we just typed in few places and it get generated the manifest based on our needs. And the main important thing here is like a valid domains. We need to whitelist all the domains which we are going to be used within our app. Like it will call some web services or like it will call some APIs from the app. Means we need to whitelist it. Other than that, it won't return the result. So if you want to test and distribute it, you can download the manifest file or like install within this particular organization Teams app, and it will provide the validation errors, whether it is a mandatory field or like any other things. If there is any problem, it will validate it and show up here itself. So it will avoid the real-time validation by humans. Like if a review team is verifying and providing us like a simple issues that can be avoided by developer itself, that will be resolved in the development time itself. So our resource got created. We can go to the resource now. I will go to my resource group, and what we have created M365, right? So it's here. So it will have something like this: the plan, build, a test kind of flow. So we are going to enable the channels first. So by default, it will enable the web chat channel. So we need to enable the Teams channel basically. So web chat is already enabled. We need to select the Teams channel. Since it is a bot framework, you can integrate with Slack as well, or like other popular things. I'll show it the options available in the portal. So it is like you are creating a one bot and deploying it. You can use it in multiple places. Okay, it's got created. So it got enabled and showing health as running. So if you want to like add another channels like Facebook, Telegram, or Slack, we can enable it and configure based on the needs. If you are going to use the web chat, the chat will looks like this. Let's say testing web chat. Since it is having the echo bot now, the default code, it will show messages whatever we type. Example, I type hi, it will reply like a echo hi, something like that. So next step will be like we need to provide, as I said, it's just replying the whatever text I type. So next step will be like go to the thing configuration and take the app ID from the bot and providing inside our code we have. Let's say like in the manifest file, we need to provide it here. For example, I'm just getting the ID from here. So this will be the Microsoft App ID will be the bot ID here. Actually, the ID in this place and this place. We can name it as what we can name. Can name it as M365 demo. So next thing will be like we created something and we can upload it in the existing environment I have. So before that, what we can do is like we can deploy the recent code we have here and display deploy in the Azure bot we have created. So next thing will be like go to your app settings JSON. So here you will be having app ID and app password to like validate inside the thing. Let me copy it again. This will be the app ID and next will be app password. This long text password will be. So what things will actually do is like whenever we search for something here in the this is a sample app, we search for something, it will send all the requests to your bot basically, which we have deployed here, and the bot will run the particular code which you have mentioned. So it will have the all the details. I'm just going to right click and publish. So since it's a .NET Core 3.1, we can set up even set up a CI/CD for it. So I'm just going to create a new, select existing. So it is M365 demo. So I'm just publishing from the local, not sure whether it will deploy in the first go itself because it will depends on the internet, I guess. So when it is getting deployed, I will explain the other detail here. Like when you upload something in the Microsoft Teams, you can validate before that itself. For example, this will be our latest manifest file, and we need to upload these two icon as well. So before uploading to the Microsoft Teams and test it, or like even send for a review, we can validate the app in the App Studio itself. I will just make it as a zipped file. So I'm just copying this URL. I'll explain how we can validate it. We can go to the App Studio and click validation. In this place, what we can do is like we can upload the manifest file here, and it will validate the manifest file we uploaded and provide the list of errors or like a warnings it is seeing, so that it will be helpful for us to eradicate the errors in our end itself. So it had checked 46 cases and it's showing like 44 cases has been succeeded and 2 has been failed. So the two thing is like a color icon is not part of the recurrent dimension, and another one is like a small icon should be 32 cross 32. So it will be like it won't show any errors if we like upload in our Teams, but when we are going for deployment or like a review, it will show in that time itself. And other things like packages were passed, so something like that, and short name descriptions will be checked, and the privacy URLs, whether it is present or not, those kind of things were there. So as you know, like it's just a icon related thing. We can check the app inside our real Teams testing. To upload these things, basically you need to in testing local, you need to have admin credentials or like a privilege to upload the custom package. You can go to apps page and click upload a custom app, and this is like basically the name. I can choose the zip file here, and it is getting uploaded. Once it is uploaded, it will show up here because EF is something like the organization name I had created for this test environment, and it just got created here. So I'm going to select it and add to the Teams organization within this organization. So I'm clicking is add. Once I added it, it's straight away showing the options because we have only one option here, search query. So I'm going to search for something. Let's say like the package in the NuGet, it will show up. So it is searching for something, and it is showing the result. Let's say let me search another package like Ashu. So it is showing the results related to Ashu. So if I want to send it to someone, I can select it and copy the informations and send to whoever I want. So you can see the main things were already there, like examples and things are the if you want to develop some app and do it straight away, you can refer the examples. It will be very helpful for you. And if I search for something in the reply thread, it will show up here. Let me search for something. Here it is. Please check. And I'm going to append a new result here. Let's search for Newton. So and I'm just sending it. So it has basically has two controls and some icon is there, and the app name will be there. So you can design based on your needs. Since it is a thumbnail code, it is having some limited options like having an image and a heading, subheadings, and some action buttons here. So when you click that action button, it is going to some particular websites. Since it is just plain things like opening the URLs in the new tab, and this can be used in the new conversation as well. So these were the use cases when we are coming for search related message extension. So next step, so you are created something and you are even tested and you can validate the apps here. And next step will be submitting to the review. So if you created something and the real world needs to be used, means you can submit for it for the review. For example, this manifest will be there. So we have created this. And you can even distribute it. So if you clear all this description, you will have an option called publish here. You can do it straight away. When you're submitting for the Microsoft review, you can just go through the various informations like their package reviews, and you need to go to the partnership program. So basically, it will have lots of forms to fill up, like basic information like privacy policies and the documentations and the test things like that. So it will go under review. For example, it is one of our app which have been there in the marketplace. So it will have three basic things. First one is pre-processing, and next one will be like certification, and then it will get published once it is verified by the official review team. And the market listing will be having some information like whether it needs to be showed in specific countries or like in a specific language. Those parts will be there. So these will be the various options there. So these are some of the search related messaging extension. Another important feature I see here is like a link unfurling. So it will be like a new term or like someone would already know it. For example, let me show an example for link unfurling. So this is like you search for something and provided the informations to the real world, so you provided in the form of card. So this may have a link actually to show it. For that, I will show an example of Microsoft this thing pipeline. Azure pipeline will be there. Maybe Azure board we can use. For example, I'm searching for Teams. So it will search for the informations in my this thing team enhancement or something like that. So I'm just taking this option, and it will have some link, right? Unique URL. So if you want to share it to some users, so if you paste it, what link unfurling will do is it will grab the informations from the web service or like the APIs, and it will provide the titles of this particular this thing. For example, let me copy this. So once we enter it, it will provide a nice code or like adaptive code. Basically, it's not showing up here, but it will show a code for us similar to what we have seen in this adaptive code basically. For example, if you paste this URL, it will show information like this. Let me see whether I have a thing here. I need to set up. Okay. I have an organization called Pondian. Okay, Teams integration. Basically, we need to have some items, work items here. Okay, I don't have any work items. Let me create a new item now. Okay, let's create a bug. So it's got created. I'm just sending it. So if you open this bug in a new tab, it should provide me a URL. So I have a work item ID here. So if I paste it in this, it's not showing up. Okay, as I told, like I just pasted this URL, the code is getting created automatically. So you can just delete it and send it to anyone. So for example, if someone will be chatting related to your application, for example, if Document360 someone is using and they are sending this particular URL, instead of sending this URL itself, like someone will not get information using the URL. So they can get some information like those kind of things is called link unfurling. Once you enter this URL, what our app will do is like it will send the information to our code basically. And if the URL is like unique and this can be able to get the information, something like a bug title and like something like that, we can capture it in our code and we can reply with some adaptive code. For example, I'm pasting this URL again, and it's showing the code. So this is like one of the interesting feature I see in the message extension. So I will just go through once again. So we have seen a few things today. One is like action-based commands, and another one is like search-based things, and third one is link unfurling. Using this, you can directly get the information from their official documentation and create the app straight away. And the main thing will be like if you want to like add authentication, you need to work on it, like whether you can go for a single sign-on based on your applications. So integration will be like very easy and accessible, and you can next go for the publishing to the marketplace. So those are the things I have today. So if you have any questions, you can leave it in the chat. So I take it as no question. Jaikumar, you can take over the session.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Pandian. So thanks for your wonderful session about task interactions in Microsoft Teams. So guys, I think still we have 10 more minutes. So if you have any questions, maybe you can ask, please yourself and you can ask. We can utilize this time.
If there is no question, I will just wanted to say thanks to all the participants and like the speakers who had spent a lot of time today. And special thanks to Hubfly, Koi.co and Quadrant for their continuous support. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you.